Hi, Dave. Are you ready to work on our presentation? I finished my research about millennials and the news. Have you?
Hi, Matt. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's start by defining millennials.
Okay, millennials are people in our age group, born between 1980 and 2000. So a lot of people think we don't care about the news. They think we spend all of our time on social media following a lot of trivial and useless information. I read a survey that found young people aged 18 to 34 are more ignorant about current events than older people.
Really?
Apparently, only 40% of people under the age of 30 read the news every day, compared with 62% of people over 35. Young people did poorly on geography, too. For example, only about half of them knew that Pakistan and Afghanistan share a border, compared with 80% of older people.
So they're saying millennials waste time texting friends and hanging out on social media. They think we're not interested in important matters such as government policies or international events. All we care about is the dating habits of our favorite celebrities or where we can buy cheap sneakers. I guess I know some people like that, but they're generally younger.
Yeah, I agree. I think people get more interested in the news as they get older. I read the news every day, and so do my friends.
Anyway, it's just the opinion of the people who conducted the survey. There are tons of surveys out there, and they all arrive at different conclusions.
Maybe, but the survey involved 2,000 participants who had completed a quiz. The results were based on their overall scores. Maybe it's true that we don't care as much about the news as our parents' generation.
I don't agree with that. It's just one survey. I read another survey that came up with a different result. It said that 2/3 of millennials consume news online regularly, often on a social networking site, and 40% of those check the news more than twice a day. So we may not be reading print newspapers or watching the TV news, but we stay up to date with current events because we find out the news as it happens, not at the end of the day or the next day like a lot of older people. And if a news item interests us, we share it with our friends and we search for more information about it. Sharing stories means that we get our news from lots of different sources and we get different points of view. A lot of older people get their news from one source and that's it. If you ask me, we're possibly more informed about the news than older people.
I agree with you. There's so much content out there, and most millennials use 3 or 4 social networking platforms. In my opinion, we've become sophisticated at navigating a lot of different news sources. We're more skeptical than older people. We don't rely on one news source, and we don't always believe everything we read.
We should conduct our own survey. There are a lot of international students in our class. Let's give them the quiz from that first survey and see how they compare.
That's a good idea. I'll post the quiz on our class page and ask everyone to complete it before Friday. The quiz has 50 questions, so it's pretty brief. It should only take about 10 to 15 minutes. Then we can analyze the results over the weekend.
Sounds good.